Here's my conversation from this morning about Zach Wilson and Tyler Algier and Jaren Hall. Cam, you've got tremendous street cred on this program because you called Zach Wilson being very good to great first. And now you're talking about Jaren Hall in your latest article about quarterbacks going into the 2023 draft, not this next one, but the one after that. And you're saying Jaren Hall has first-round potential. Tell us again what you see.
It's simple. There's things that you cannot coach, and Jaren Hall has them. It's like Zach had the accuracy, the poise, the arm talent, and the touch. Jaren's got that all, but he's also got a little bit extra with his legs. I mean, Zach was incredibly athletic, obviously, but Jaren's got all the platforms you want to throw from, and he's got all of the other elite intangibles that a quarterback has, but he's got them in spades. And so as long as he can stay healthy and stay consistent, he's got the schedule this coming year to prove that he can do it against top flight talent, but he's also got the ability to elevate the talent with it too. So he's got a prime situation to not only prove he has the skills, but also elevate himself even higher in the first round if all goes well.
Were you surprised at his season this year? Because I think we thought, okay, he has a chance to be good, but he was very good.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I'm on record as ranking him and Baylor in the Baylor Romney as in the preseason as what I think it was 88th best on my quarterback rankings. So I was skeptical at best. You know, you saw flashes, but this year, I mean, consistently after returning to the lineup, what's one thing I love to look for in quarterbacks is linear growth. And so if you see it, once he got healthy and once he got back, and you see, I know Baylor, they lose the game down in Waco, but that game he gave them fits. He was throwing amazing throws, accurate touch, poise, anticipatory throws to the sidelines, NFL throws, which is what I call those two. Deep downfield, outbreaking throws. Jaren's got him. He's got all the throws in his arsenal. And I was consistently and pleasantly surprised down the stretch with how he played.
I agree on you with the health part. He's certainly got to show that he can, last most, if not all of a season. He played 10 of the 13 games and missed a couple with the ribs, of course, and then had a foot injury where he missed the bowl game. That certainly played into the result that BYU got in that, sort of the feeling we have here of like, that didn't end all that great. But if Jaren can show he's healthy, day one feels like it'd be incredible. If he's day two, that's still amazing. If he's drafted at all, I think that's probably even a surprise. But you feel like there is a shot at first round for Jaren Hall.
Yes, there is. Because if you look at it, there's question marks after the top two quarterbacks. You know, there's a Spencer Rattler who's got all the elite intangibles, but who knows what he looks like. Is he the guy that we saw at the start of the season in Oklahoma, but now with South Carolina, or does Shane Beamer revitalize him? I think he still has a chance to be the third best quarterback or QB3 in the draft class. It obviously all starts with Bryce Young and CJ Stroud probably going 1 and 2. If that class were to be drafted this year, they would be 1 and 2. They're that good. So it's a hard road, a tough road, but law of averages states that you're going to have more than 3 quarterbacks likely drafted next first round, because there's not going to be a whole lot this year. And so with the draft class being not as great or top heavy this year, it's going to help and propel a lot of teams that are going to be QB needy in the 2023 offseason. So I think if he can maintain the health and prove sort of what we've seen this year is what his ceiling or his floor is, so to speak, and the ceiling is higher, absolutely he can get into the first round conversation.
And he'll certainly have opportunities to prove himself against tougher competition, fewer Power Fives, but tougher, this coming fall. We're talking to Cam Mellor of Pro Football Network. Tyler Algier broke out for the greatest rushing season BYU has ever seen. Now he's going to the NFL draft. Where do you see him in the draft?
Day 2, early. Honestly, there's the conversation of there's the top 3 running backs. I know everybody wanted to say Breece Hall and Isaiah Spiller were the untouchable, bulletproof 1 and 2, but honestly, I think Kenneth Walker is probably the best of those 3. And so Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Isaiah Spiller, and then there's not as sizable of a gap that I think people are proclaiming between him and the next tier, or those 3 in the next tier. Between, I think Tyler Algier is probably the 4th best running back. If you look at it, what separates running backs from being good right away, and you have to be good right away, let's face it, with how short the shelf life is for an NFL running back, you have to be good right away. Tyler Algier is essentially Javonte Williams of the Broncos. They're the same make and mold. They're the same build. They bounce off contact. They have great contact balance, and they break through arm tackles with ease. Honestly, I think Tyler Algier is NFL ready. And so that's going to help him get to the next level, get drafted early, but then also once an NFL scout or GM interviews him, they're going to fall in love with him. And that's all it's going to take, because he's just as good of a man as he is on the field, off the field.
He is a great dude, and one of the great success stories of BYU, a walk-on who played some linebacker, came back to running back, and now he's hopefully a day 2 guy. I like early second round. I think that'd be tremendous. First round running back, I mean, you got to be an incredible talent to squeeze there.
Yep.
Okay, Let's talk about who BYU grabbed to perhaps replace him. Tough to say, hey, yeah, can you get 1,600 yards and 23 touchdowns? Christopher Brooks from Cal. What do you see in his game that isn't comparable per se to Tyler Allgeier, but like, who is he?
He's a bigger Tyler Allgeier with less speed. So I think he's a great complementary back. You're going to have somebody else that goes alongside Christopher Brooks. I don't think he's proven in his career at Cal that he can handle the load, be the bell cow, for lack of a better term. So I think he's going to need some help. He's going to need an elusive, shifty guy, maybe a guy out of the backfield as well, who in pass catching, because Christopher Brooks is not really that guy. He's a big dude who, again, he bounces off of contact and arm tackles. But I mean, there's not a whole lot more than one cut, get upfield type of back that he is. And so he's going to need a complementary back to sort of replicate any sort of success that Allgeier had. But he's a great start to replacing that 1,600-yard season.
So Tyler Allgeier going to be drafted somewhere. Are there any other Cougars you see potentially being drafted?
James Empey, because I mean, what was it, 2019? He entered the year and he was possibly the best center prospect. And so I know injuries has affected his entire career, but he's still, with the lack of maybe top tier centers in this draft class, Empey will definitely get a look. It's probably day 3. It's later rounds of day 3. And then besides James Empey, it's Keenan Pili. The lack, again, of interior linebackers is what's going to get him drafted. You have Nakobe Dean from Georgia and Devin Lloyd, who is all world, all everything. They're going to go first round, but after that, it sort of drops off a cliff in terms of interior linebackers. So you got a guy who his age is going to be a deterrent for some teams, but he can plug and play right away as a coverage linebacker at the next level.
You mentioned Keenan Pili, who will come off an ACL and play this fall with the team. Is there anyone else coming, with BYU currently that in the 23 draft, besides Jaren Hall, you see as NFL draft potential?
Peyton Wilgar. So both linebackers, excuse me. Yeah, you're right. Both linebackers coming back. So I'm still on Peyton. I mean, let's face it. This is a guy who, don't tell Kirk Herbstreit, but he loves football and he loves playing the game. So Peyton Wilgar loves playing the game so much that he has the sour taste in his mouth. I talked to Peyton a couple of weeks ago, and he had sour taste in his mouth, did not want to end his career that way. So the fact that him and Pili are coming back, it's Wilgar. I didn't think I needed to mention him because obviously he's on the mantle once he does get drafted as one of the ones I called early on in his career. So he's up there, but both linebackers get drafted. Empey this year, Pili and Wilgar next year.
Yeah, I think part of you go into the bowl game and it's like, you're looking around, you're like, who are you? Like their name tags, on the jerseys, like, what's your name? But, unfortunately it ended the way it did. But a healthy BYU was ranked as high as 10th last year. So we'll see what BYU can do this fall. Let's talk about Zach Wilson. He's really turned a corner with the Jets. The Jets stink. I don't actually feel like the Jets are going to be good to great one day, but maybe, the last couple of weeks they've shown they're playing better. They're figuring some things out. What have you seen from Zach Wilson that continues to validate what you said a couple years ago?
It's the timing of the offense. He needs to have good timing on the offense. If you look at it, what marked his career in the moment in time in which all of a sudden everybody started seeing it is that he got confident. And what drew his confidence was the fact that they were running the timing offense. Everything was on schedule. It was on par. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. Balls out, receivers catching it, making plays for him. When that happens, we saw it against the Bucs, the defending Super Bowl champions, for 2.5 quarters. The timing was on, and so was his confidence, and his confidence grew with every single throw. So I think they're a few players short of being a good team right now. I don't think they need to address the quarterback position for a long time, though, because of that. So build around Zach, continue to build around players who can increase the timing and the overall play from the defense side of the ball, because they need help on defense. Getting Carl Lawson back next year will certainly help, since he didn't get to play a snap for him this year. But get him some playmakers too on the outside, not just Braxton Berrios.
Absolutely. Berrios, the greatest flag football player of all time turned NFLer, right? He just has fun when he's out there. I know that you saw the which table are you sitting at post the BYU Sports Nation put at. So am I to assume that table B with Zach Wilson and myself is where you're going to sit?
Absolutely. And it's not just because of Zach Wilson. It's all because of Zach. You just happen to be there. Absolutely. It's you and Zach, but also don't tell Spence.
It's funny. Like my wife said, no one's saying table B. And I said, you know what? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Me and Cam Mellor will hang out. Cam, we appreciate the time. I
think recency bias probably had you there. People are like, oh, I talked to Zach maybe last, I've heard Zach talk enough. I want to go sit with Steve Young. I haven't heard him sat with him a long time. So no, absolutely. Table B.
Yeah. Table B for the win. Let's go. Cam, we appreciate the time. Always insightful, as I mentioned, and we'll talk soon.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me as always.